So we're here at the office. There's 20
I just pictured us going into like black and white and like a silent film. Oh, let's do this as a silent.
I was thinking about us, like, because when I said there's 20 feet of snow outside, like, you know, wrestling through the snow in our coats and like the prairie.
And then we're in Anaheim, California for Natural Products Expo West.
Oh my gosh.
This is The Naturalist. In every episode, we're covering the products, ideas, and trends that are shaping the CPG industry.
Or that we just really like.
It's Expo West week.
I am so ready for some sun.
Me too.
I admit I have been checking the weather in Anaheim, even though I know it might completely change. But right now, this week, it's like 77 and sunny.
Yeah, and I feel like by the time people are watching / listening, they'll be there.
Yeah, that's true.
So step outside. You'll know exactly. So we're just a couple days earlier, heading out soon. Yeah. We're really excited. Well, first of all, Adrienne's excited because we came back to our original spots because we were recording something else and I was over there and she's over here. You didn't like it.
No, I didn't.
You were mad about it.
I was kind of mad. I felt awkward.
You didn't sound or seem awkward, but I knew. We're connected like that. I knew your pain. I felt your pain.
Yes.
But here we are back in our spots and getting ready to be in Anaheim, and we're going to talk trends.
Oh, favorite topic, pre-show and post-show.
Right.
I'm sure we'll do this more than once.
We talk trends a lot.
Yeah. So, should we just dive in? Or what else do we do? Yes, we're going to talk about
trends. Catch up on anything, or are we good?
No,
we're just getting right down to business today.
I do want to talk for a second. What are you most excited about at the show? Because there's a lot of new stuff this year.
There's so much new stuff. I'm first and foremost, so excited to see the people.
Yes.
I love reconnecting with people, meeting so many new people, seeing all the great companies, retailers, and the whole ecosystem comes together at Expo West. And that is my favorite part. And while we're talking about trends and we're lucky that we kind of get to see all of this stuff early before it hits the show floor, before it hits retailers, you also just never know what you're going to find out there, and the conversations, the ideas, the new products that are going to spark an idea and realize that, we know, but we don't truly know until we're there. So I love that.
We have this great Teams chat with the content team, with all the editors, because Expo West is so big that you can't see everything, no matter how hard you try. But we have this great Teams chat, which I love because people put up pictures and they're like, I saw this today. Go to this booth. Go do this. And I'm always like, what is this? I can't, So it's, I think that's really fun. It's just having a bunch of people focused on discovery, trends, new products, excitement. And it really kind of generates a lot of buzz at our internal team, which we can hopefully convey to everybody else.
Yes. Yeah. What else? What else are you really excited about?
I'm obviously super excited about the Nexty prom. Love giving out those Nexty awards, seeing all the people. They've put so much hard work into their product launches, and it's just so rewarding to see everybody there. That community feeling, that's my favorite part about that.
Yes.
I'm super excited I love Fresh Ideas. I'm excited that that's moved to Tuesday. Because I feel like that's just such a fantastic event. It's so nice to be outside. You see all these organic brands. There's lots of small brands. It's a really great feeling of camaraderie.
Yeah. It's a great part of the event.
Yeah.
So many things to look forward to.
So many things.
All right. So let's talk about some of the trends. Some of these things we've been tracking for years and some are a little bit newer. So, it's just interesting to see whether it's a manifestation of an existing trend or an evolution of an existing trend or something that we think will be brand new to the show. So we have a little bit of everything, right?
Yep. And these, I would say, probably post-show we'll have a lot in our coverage. We'll have a lot more concrete products and maybe more kind of specific trends. I think these are a little bit broader, maybe. And I actually feel like almost all of the trends are really evolution of something else, right? I mean, that's kind of how we see, for example, we've been talking for years about non-alcoholic beverages, really gaining a lot of traction in the marketplace. This year we have a wellness pavilion at Expo West, and I'm really excited to see kind of what's next because we've seen the mocktail beverages, we've seen functional beverages. So what do you think might be next in this space?
Oh man. I mean, I'm just excited about some of the flavor profiles. We tried a bunch of NA beverages and wellness beverages and functional just on our last episode.
Remember that jalapeno? Oh my gosh.
Yes. And things just tasted so good. I think the real sweeteners we'll continue to see that more honey, more just kind of real sugar, but less of it. And so I think people are definitely looking at the sugars, the calories in these products. So just cleaner label products in this space, I think is exciting, but just these different ingredient combinations that surprise and delight. And we definitely know that this trend is here to stay. We'll be sharing some of this data during our State of Natural keynote on Wednesday, but we have brand new consumer research that shows how much consumers are really cutting back on alcohol and then understanding what are they replacing that with and what are some of the trends specifically that are coming out of this industry that are going to meet that consumer need. And I think it's very much tied to overall health. Consumers are scaling back because of economic reasons, financial reasons, as well as health reasons. And so when they're looking at these products, I think they want to make sure that it tastes amazing, provides a great experience, and that it truly is something that's offering a health benefit to them.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned the real sugars or the honeys. Another thing, I remember last year at Expo West, there were bitters everywhere.
Yes.
So I'm excited to kind of see that evolution of botanical flavors as opposed to just natural flavors being added to beverages. I want to see more of those botanical combinations. You said lots of really interesting flavor profiles. So that's something I'm really excited about too.
Yeah. And I mean, we tried some products last week that I'd never tasted anything like it before. So I think it's kind of retraining people's palates, learning and appreciating these new flavors that at first you're like, what is this? And then hopefully over time you start to like it. Okay.
Yeah, moving on. Yes. I'm excited to see more collaborations. We have seen in the last couple of years so many great brand collabs, and walking around the show floor, you're like, wait, you're doing this with you and you guys. And so many of those collaborations have actually come into being at Expo. So I think it was a product from Daily Crunch and Fly by Jing that they were actually meeting and talking on the show floor at Expo West last year. And now they've done this collaboration. Fly by Jing is actually doing a ton of collaborations. They're also doing one with Lundberg for rice, Mr. Bing and Fabulous. So many great collaborations. And I know we're going to see so much more of that. I love that.
I think that's such an exciting trend. And it really represents this industry, which is so collaborative. And a lot of that work happens behind the scenes, whether it be around packaging or sustainability solutions. But now we're seeing companies really tout that on the label, on the product, join forces. And I think a lot of that also leads into some of the multicultural products,
authenticity, global flavor.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool thing that we'll see more of.
What collaboration? What would be like your dream collaboration?
Oh, a dream collab.
It might be something you need to think about for a while.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
I don't know
Great
what mine
question,
would be either, but
yeah.
Something to do with cheese.
Anything with cheese.
Or butter.
All right, let's see. What are some other really exciting trends? Seaweed, we've talked about this. So we don't often talk about a single ingredient as being a trend, but I think seaweed and this kind of like sustainable ingredients from the ocean is something that we've seen bubbling up over the years. And I see that you have that on your list.
I do. Well, I just think that there's so many different applications, whether it's food and beverage, whether it's kelp pickles or sea butter, salt, or sea butter, lettuce, sea lettuce. See, I'm thinking about butter. Sea lettuce, salt.
You would think I was wearing my little butter earring.
Yes, I would. But no, I think there's just so many different applications. So there's food and beverage, there's skincare, there's supplements. So I think it's exciting not only to see all the applications, but all the different varieties of seaweed and other marine vegetables.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that marine movement will continue to see more of when done sustainably, and there's a ton of potential there. So yeah, we'll have to share notes on what we see on the show floor that has seaweed in it.
So this is a total side note, but my dad is a marine biologist, and my dad has never watched Seinfeld, and he just discovered somehow randomly surfing the internet that there's a whole Seinfeld episode where George pretends to be a marine biologist to get dates with people, and he sent it to me, and he keeps calling me, and he's like dying laughing.
Like, why did anyone tell me about this Seinfeld show before, first of all?
Anyway, sorry.
That episode, must see. Okay, let's go into skincare and beauty a little bit.
Okay.
We talked about how seaweed is certainly strong there and algae products, but I'm really excited about the Conscious Beauty Pavilion that we have at Expo, and one of our 2 new pavilions, a wellness beverage and conscious beauty. And I just can't wait to see what types of products are there. We're certainly seeing tons of clean skincare innovations. One of the things that we talked with Stephen Jameson from PCC about is that there's this increasing movement around accessibility of these products.
Yeah.
So clean is really important. Sustainability, it needs to work, but it also needs to be affordable for people. And so I'm excited to see how companies will do that without really cutting corners and making sure that they still have a high quality product, but that it's coming in at an accessible price point. I also am excited to see what I think will be a lot more products that are focused on self-care.
Yeah.
So really the rituals that go along with applying or using that product. People are thinking about mental health and beauty and kind of marrying that like well-being aspect. And so I think that, yeah, that's just an exciting innovation area because it's how people nurture themselves, both in the topical products they use, but from the inside out as well. So we'll continue to see more beauty from within products, but beauty from within products that are also tied to digestive health, sleep. We've seen that for many years now, but I think it just represents a more holistic way of thinking about beauty.
Yeah. I mean, you covered it. The only thing I was going to say, which you also covered, was that I would expect to see, that part of the show floor, that pavilion is not only going to have topical products, but also supplements, beauty from within, you mentioned. So
yes,
it's really exciting to see the crossover between those categories.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
All right. What else? What else have we got? We have got, should we talk about plant-based?
Okay.
I feel like that's always a hot topic.
Yeah, we like plants around here.
We like plants. So one of the things that I'm excited, well, there's kind of 2 parts of this. So on the one hand, alt meats, alt dairy, I really think that those products are getting so clean. Ingredient lists are getting really short. There's tons of alt dairy products that are now certified organic, that use regenerative farming, that are just these really clean, unsweetened, short ingredient lists. And I think the same is happening with alternative meats. So you have still these, substitutes, maybe plant meatballs or whatever, but the ingredient lists are really short. They're getting more whole food ingredients, more pronounceable ingredients. And I think that that's really exciting. I just feel like it's kind of not getting more sophisticated in terms of, more expensive, more highbrow, but just better for you, better ingredients.
Yes, totally. Absolutely. And I can't wait to see exactly what we're seeing in the truly clean label meat and dairy alt space. And this kind of ties to a trend that you've talked about, but the pantry staple, kind of reimagining pantry staples. And I say that only because if you think about beans and some of these other single ingredients that are really, really helping to fuel a plant-based diet, I think now there's just so many new options and even some innovation in the pantry staple space, which is fun to see.
And I think that innovation is taking kind of 2 different routes do you say roots or routes?
Oh, I just had a... How does anyone interact today? I mix it up.
Different vias.
I'm a real people pleaser.
Well, I grew up in Michigan, and so I'm always...
Oh, you did? You did?
Yes, along with Dax Shepard, but we didn't know each other.
Okay, let's have a little more caffeine.
All right, let's start there. What was I going to talk about? So I think there's kind of 2 different ways that we're seeing innovation in the pantry staples aisle. One of those, of course, with global flavor. So we've seen, these great shelf stable soups. I mentioned the Lundberg Fly by Jing rice. So these fantastic flavors of these really kind of basic pantry items.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, the sustainability. So, Jovial has this great new regenerative organic certified einkorn pancake and waffle mix. Kodiak Cakes has a new Kernza flour, pancake mix. So I just love that the sustainability.
Yeah, kind of reimagining business models,
Exactly.
how we create products. I love those two areas of innovation in pantry staples that you outlined.
Yeah, and I think it's great that this kind of center store, which for so many years was kind of like, oh, ho hum, whatever, is so exciting now. And it's really dynamic and it's changing every year.
Yeah, and actually, this is a very specific thing you said, but the soups piece of it, I think we saw some really fun soups and interesting flavors, and that's something that I think when people feel like they can get that convenience, but the product truly feels like a homemade, delicious, nourishing food. It's been fun to see
that
some
corn soup, the Eatiful. I think
I've never liked a corn soup in my
so
life.
Good. Eatiful, and then Heyday had that lentil stew with the butternuts.
Yeah, you know you're at the next phase when you're like, this corn chowder better win. I've never been so fired up. I did want to say one thing about beverages as we sip our coffee, but I saw a lot of kind of low caffeine products.
Yes.
So low caffeine that's in non-coffee caffeine sources. So whether, we've seen that in different types of teas, but really touting the fact that these products have caffeine in them, but not with the same jitters that you're going to get from a cup of coffee. So, I expect to see more of that. So more energy and uplifting kind of mood lifting products, but not relying on high levels of caffeine.
Well, and that's what I was going to say that's really interesting is low caffeine, different caffeine sources, but still calling themselves energy drinks. I mean, energy drinks are everywhere.
Yes.
But just looking for different sources for that boost. Which I think is cool.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. What else?
What else?
Let's talk protein.
Let's talk protein.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We need it.
Do we need it? Is it overdone?
It's important.
No, we are seeing protein everywhere lately, from pasta sauce to, remember we tried that clear protein beverage last week in the Naturalist episode. What else? Protein pancake mix.
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And so I think now it's going to be, what are the sources of that protein? I think the clean label piece will be really important. One of the beverages we tried had whey protein. So I think we are seeing a return to whey in beverages and sports sodas.
Sorry. I cannot not do that every time.
I'm here for it. Do it every single time. So whey, and I think that's aligned with returning to real meat source, animal meat sources. Yeah. And so, that animal protein space, but done responsibly, sustainably, regeneratively where possible. There's a lot of that happening.
Oh my gosh. The other night I had some beef tallow French fries.
Oh,
they were so good. I was here for those.
Oh man. That's
so good. And then of course we're seeing, colostrum cropping up in a lot of different products, and tallow again in lots of different products. So very clean ingredient list, grass-fed.
Yes.
Well done. But, innovation there.
And plant-based protein as well. But I think the shift that we're seeing is back to animal sources and really understanding what truly responsible supply chains can look like for that.
Or what about supplements? What's a big hot supplement trend?
Definitely all things metabolic health. Yeah. There's a few different aspects of that. One is the products that support people who are taking GLP-1s or have taken them. So kind of pre, during, and post. There's a whole market for that continues to flourish.
With the protein trend, of course.
Definitely. Yeah. And the nutrient density trend. But then there's all these other products that are kind of positioning themselves in that way to help with blood sugar management or appetite suppression, all of these different things. So metabolic health overall. And I just expect to see more and more of that. There in that, science is going to be really important, making sure that these companies have the research, that they're talking about things in a compliant way. It's really important that the natural and organic product industry and the companies that are showing up at Expo are pursuing this responsibly and making sure that they're really talking about both the GLP-1 pharmaceutical pharmaceutical space and the supplement space in a way that helps consumers on their journey and doesn't kind of give them false hope of what a product's going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and then of course, sexual health.
yes.
I think that's going to be a big area at the show. We had Robin Lawrence on a couple weeks ago talking about NBJ's sexual health report. She's obviously going to be, she's an incredible resource for that information. She's going to be moderating a panel at the show about optimizing men's and women's sexual health. But I think we're going to see so many of those products.
Yes, I agree. And sexual health for both men and women and hormonal health. So really understanding all the things that hormones are related to. And which, Robin talked about cortisol, for example, like men really starting to understand how cortisol was related to their sexual health. So I'm excited to see the types of solutions in that space and also ingredients that have historically been used. I think we'll see this in supplements overall that have historically been used for one purpose, now getting research to support them for another area. So, we'll keep everyone posted on what we see out there around that.
Oh, so many exciting things to look forward to. Please, please, please also check out our post Expo West coverage where we'll be talking about a lot of these trends, but with a lot of more specifics.
Yeah.
Specific products, probably more specific trends that we saw on the show floor. I know there's always those surprising things like popcorn was everywhere or whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, please stay tuned.
Yeah. And we can't wait to see you all at Expo West.
Yep. Safe travels.
Happy trend spotting.